Awesome. All right. Well, roommate confessions today. I am so excited because I have a special host guest with me, former roommate, current bestie, Liz.
Hi.
Hi, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Super excited to have you here.
I know.
Don't blast me too hard.
I'll try not to.
Yeah, well,
There's
we'll
a lot
see.
of stories we will keep secret.
We'll see. I'm super excited to have her. And then Johnny, our special guest on Roommate Confessions today to share a little bit about some of your experiences. Hey, Johnny, how are you?
Good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So current college student, anything else? I mean, where are you from?
I'm from San Diego, California.
Okay, cool.
La Jolla specifically, I guess.
Yeah.
And I spend my summers back there and vacations usually, and then
Nice.
go to school up here. Yeah.
Very cool. Very, very cool. Yeah, La Jolla is beautiful.
Yeah, it's a great place.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're super excited to have you on today, and I hear that you've got some funny roommate stories.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, give it to us straight. What's happened in your world?
I guess the weirdest one would be freshman year.
Okay.
Because it's automatic placement, so you can't really determine who
Yeah.
your roommates would be. And I was living in like a 4-person, 2-bathroom. Just I guess suite more than
Like
dorm
in the
room.
dorms?
Yeah, you
Oh,
all
but
have
it's-
your own room and
Okay,
share a
cool.
living room. And one night, my roommate Michael, who was 2 doors down, because the doors were like parallel in a row, I guess.
Yeah.
And one shower's at the end of the hall on this side, and another on this side. And he came home drunk at like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
and passed out in the shower for like 6 hours.
No.
Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
God. I don't know if I'm like concerned.
Yeah,
Or,
or is he okay?
Like,
He was
did you
fine.
check
He was on a chair.
oh.
So, yeah.
He was sitting in the shower.
He could breathe.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Classic.
But I didn't know until I woke up in the morning and I leave my bed, and maybe like 6 feet away from my bed, it's like wet carpet, just soaked. And turns out because of the pattern of like people walking in our living room, it bypassed the room that was to my right and just flooded only my room. Like it didn't
Oh
even
my
flood his room, which was right next to the shower. And we were
my
moving
God.
out like 2 weeks later
no.
too. So
Oh no. Were you
Yeah, it
guys?
was
What
bad.
floor were you on?
first floor.
Oh, thank God, because then you would have had a
Or-
disaster under you too.
First floor, but second in like the complex, I guess.
okay.
Okay, so did you have people under you?
No one under us, but there was actually a restaurant under us, like a campus affiliated restaurant. And in the morning, it was really funny. We went to get breakfast, and you could see water dripping down
no.
from the
Oh
ceiling.
my God.
Quick
The thing-
question about this chair.
Yeah.
Where
Let's
did
go
the
back
chair
to the
come
chair.
from? Like, where did he pull it from the kitchen and like pull it into the shower? Like,
We
what,
had
is it a wooden
some
chair or
metal
plastic?
chairs,
Metal?
like in the
Okay.
living room area, just cheap dorm metal chairs.
Totally.
Gotcha.
And apparently, he had a habit of passing out just in a chair in the shower.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Never heard of that one.
Never heard of that one. Fully clothed?
Probably not. I don't know. I wasn't
Okay,
there
He
on
was still in
scene.
his hair.
Yeah. Was he wearing a hairnet? Or a hair, what's it called? Cap.
A hairnet.
A hairnet.
No.
No, a hair cap. Okay, so he passes out. He floods your bedroom. It also somewhat floods the restaurant downstairs.
Yeah.
You guys are getting a good laugh. Are you still friends with this dude?
Yeah, he's I didn't like hang out with him as much as one of my other roommates freshman year. But he's really cool. He's like a very big outdoors person. Like I think right now he works at a snowboard shop.
Okay, cool.
And he's a pretty cool guy. I don't
Yeah.
know. I just see him around every so often, I guess.
Okay,
Yeah.
so still passing out in the
Showers?
shower, most likely.
Hope not.
Yeah. Hopefully we've grown out of that.
Hopefully he has some good roommates now taking care of him.
Oh my God, that's a good one. That's pretty funny. And so what was the damage? I mean, you didn't have to pay for it, obviously, but it was your room. I mean, what was was your shit ruined?
No, I got on it pretty early, and luckily for him, his father had like a shop vac, like a wet shop vac that could do water as well. And so he got that in maybe like 6 hours later. I kind of just stomped with some towels on the floor to get it out of the carpet and
Classic.
laid a bunch of baking powder all over the top so that
Wow.
it would like absorb the water.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, 12 hours later, it was like fine. It was dry.
Oh my God, he's so lucky. Wow.
That's
That's a good
awful.
one.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
that is.
Okay, Liz, like I'm sure Liz has some.
Funny.
I have to put you on the spot. Did I
Um,
ever pass out drunk in the shower?
I don't think so.
No, but I did a lot of
Like
stupid
random
shit
parts
drunk.
of the house.
So I lived with Liz. So Liz, we lived together. We were roommates. And for 2 years? Was it that long?
Yeah, at least, yeah.
Was it at least?
Yeah, I'd say.
Oh my God, great times.
Was it?
I don't know. The house got pretty beat up.
I was the landlord.
Yeah, it was a little terrifying.
It was pretty funny, though, because the way you became my roommate, your now husband, but boyfriend at the time, was actually supposed to live with me. And I invited him to come live with me. And she heard that plan, and she was like, wait, you need roommates? No, I'm good. I'll move in. Steven, find your own house.
Wait, I did that.
And then she invited our other friend. So she just volunteered to move in with another friend. And I was like, sorry.
Best yes
Steven.
you ever said.
Yeah.
Poor Steven.
I know.
He always gets the shaft.
But he did get a good roommate somewhere else. So it all worked out. And we had a lot of fun. But
We did have a lot of fun. Okay, should we share with the viewers some of the fun we had?
Sure. What do you got?
I don't know. Honestly, I was so drunk the whole time I kind of forget when we lived together.
Oh, like the time you locked yourself out of the house and busted through my garage window because that was the only way you can get in the house?
In my defense, you were like, fuck it, just do it.
I don't think I was there.
You were there.
Oh.
There was other people there too, but we won't name them.
Or the time I wasn't there and you had the fire department come and open the window?
That time you were not there. It turns out I am not the best roommate, ladies and gentlemen.
No. I usually would come home on Wednesdays. You know, usually when you're older, you're working on a Wednesday. Most people.
Not me. Not this
her.
girl.
She'd be in her American flag bikini with a Corona in the backyard, middle of the day tanning.
Celebrating a good old Wednesday.
But, yeah.
Did you get locked out in the backyard?
Never got locked out in the backyard. Multiple times left my keys inside, though, and got locked out in the front. But, and couldn't get in.
Yeah, I don't know why you had that issue.
But otherwise, it was pretty easy. I mean, she also told me I couldn't move my dog in, but then I slowly moved my dog in.
He, came over for 10 minutes at a time, and then it was,
and then it was
10 hours, and then it was 10 days, 10 months, 10 years.
And he's not a little dog. His name is Zeus, and he's, the apple of my eye to this day, and he's a 100-pound black lab. So it's not like you could hide him.
No. But remember, I have a lab, too, and we both left out of town, and we had a third roommate.
Oh, yeah. This is a good one.
And we left and we came home and it looked like, I don't know,
a murder
on the
carpet.
carpet.
A murder scene.
And
we just destroyed house, basically.
I mean,
the
carpet.
There was patches of stuff all over the carpet. And we were like, what happened?
Yeah.
And she claimed she just dropped her smoothie.
And we were like, but did you take care of the dogs? And is this dog?
Droppings?
Droppings.
Well, I don't know.
No, literally, it was dog disaster because she was maybe one of the more irresponsible roommates. We'll put it politely.
We do love her.
But we do love her. We
and
still
we
love her
for it. It was honestly, it's really funny now. But it was just funny that she thought we would get away with, or she thought she would get away with the smoothie.
The smoothie. We were like,
and I'm like, I don't know how big your smoothie was.
Yeah, and all over the house. I don't know.
It was bad.
Yeah,
it was really bad.
It was really bad. It was bad.
And that's when I kicked them out.
Oh my!
Just kidding.
You did not. Okay, Johnny. What about you? I mean, you've got to have more.
Ooh. Okay. Well, this
He's
isn't as big of a story, but
okay.
Right now I actually have my dog in my house, which is nice. My parents let me take him up for just I don't know, 2 months or something like that.
What kind of dog?
He's a pug.
Oh,
yeah. So he's really easy to take care of.
Yeah. Little piggy.
Yeah.
But my roommate Grace also has a cat, and her name is Frankie, the cat, I guess. And it's kind of funny watching the pug and the cat go at it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because the cat really likes to play, and the pug, he's 9 now, so he's a little bit older and just likes hanging out, and less roommate related. But I guess watching them fight or watching Frankie just try to attack my dog is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I'm also very grateful not to live in a house that has bad pet incidents, I guess.
Yeah. We've got some of those. Well, what's funny too is when Liz and I live together, she also has a cat, a black cat named Vader, who is psycho, to put it politely.
Yeah, she is.
And so my big ass black dog and her cat would go at it all day long. So it's pretty funny. Yeah, it was a shit show.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm surprised nobody ever ran through any walls or anything.
Just
or
punched
screen doors too. That's
doors,
a common one.
yes.
Oh, my screen door was trashed by the time I sold that house because of how many dogs. Yuma ran through it. I think your dog might have busted the cat. She tore through it. She clawed at it.
Yeah.
And then slid
Destroyed
underneath
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
No, speaking of bad animals. So Steven lived one time with a guy, and this guy, I shit you not, no pun intended, didn't clean up his dog after his dog shit for a full year.
No, that's disgusting.
I'm not kidding you. You couldn't even walk outside. It was Steven finally got to a point where he was like, hey, like, I gotta be honest with you. Like, I gotta ask, like, are you ever gonna clean this up? And he was like, no, bro.
Why?
And Steven was like, oh, totally caught off guard, like, just so nonchalant. Like, no, oh, we're not. You're literally never gonna clean this up. And he was
Just
like,
wanted
no.
to clarify that. Got
Yeah,
it.
he's like, no. I mean, why would I? I mean, it'll decompose. It was like a disaster. So like it was ants and flies.
Ew.
It was, and he lived there for a year, and he literally was like, it's the worst. So I mean, like, there's some
That's
like bad.
unhealthy.
No, I know.
Gross.
Yeah,
I don't like
gross.
that.
No, I mean animals. What about the time that I lived with the third roommate that we were lived with?
Mm-hmm.
I lived with her separately, and this bitch comes home with a wild bunny. Do you remember that?
No, but typical.
When we lived
I'm not shocked.
in Concord at the house.
Oh, in that house, yes.
She came home with a wild freaking bunny. And we were like, why? And she's like, I'm going to name him Alan. I'm like, we're keeping him? Yeah. Where are we going to put this rabbit? So she goes out and gets the Shangri-La of rabbit cages and goes and gets some double-decker condominium, like, complex for bunnies. And this thing lived with us for a full fucking year. And to the point where it would walk around the house and the dogs would want to eat it. And I was like, this is horrible. But she loved that bunny.
What happened to the bunny?
I think the bunny now lives at her mom's house, like in the garden.
Oh, it's still alive.
I think it's literally still alive.
How did she catch it?
So
That is
Like,
some
that's
skill.
hard to do.
Yeah.
right? Like, that's why I was like, did you go to the pet store and buy this bunny? No, I caught it on a run. I was like, but
you caught it on a run?
Oh, that was literally the story, that she was on a run and the bunny was like crossing her path. And you know her, she felt so inclined to just it was meant to be because this bunny was following her. Yeah. So she is gone for like 3 hours on this run. And I'm like, this bitch ain't running fucking 10 miles. Like, what is she doing? She comes home with a bunny that she chased around until she could catch it and brought it home.
Because she went to Petco and there was a really long line.
She went to fucking Petco. I'm about to
For
check in with
sure.
Petco Concord.
Literally.
I'm like, do we have the records of bunny adoptions between the years of 2010 and 2020?
I mean, it's better than I got a hamster over Christmas. I had a white elephant party.
No,
And
as a gift.
Someone legit, like, it was in a bag and it was the whole cage and it came with the ball, like the food,
No.
everything. And I had an effing hamster.
I'd be pissed,
So
honestly.
I put that thing on Nextdoor, and it found a very interesting home, to say the least. But I gave away the
Hamsters are gnarly.
and I had a fucking pet hamster in a ball rolling around my house for like a day or two.
That is
It was
hilarious.
disgusting.
Hey, shout out to that person who gave a hamster for a white elephant present.
I'm about to call out her
Classic.
name.
I'm about to call it first and last name, handle at Ashley
saying.
Simpson.
Yeah.
Oh my
Damn
God,
you.
that is too funny. That is too funny.
Yeah.
It makes you think, like, does she love hamsters so much
No,
that she wanted
she-
to give a hamster? Or is she like, I'm done with this thing?
It was actually our
Going to the
friend
white
who's
elephant.
hilarious, and she will do anything to prank anybody. And she couldn't
like
come
her.
to the party, so she sent her friends
No.
who came to the party with the hamster.
That's fucking commitment.
So not only was it like not, but I watched Bobby open that present, and I was like, kill me. I own a rodent.
That's fine. I own a rodent.
I was really creative. Since I live in Bozeman, Montana, we named him Bozeman.
Oh, this was in Montana. Oh,
This
that's.
was recent, last Christmas.
She's like, this was like literally 2 weeks ago.
I'm like, I brought him. You want to see?
Yeah, you get out your purse. Ew, pull out the hamster.
No thanks.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Roommate Confessions is sponsored by Chillo, the app to help you find roommates and a place to live. I seriously wish that we had something like that when I was looking for roommates because, oh my God, there was this one time I was in college, similar to you. I was a junior, and I found this girl on Craigslist because I was moving to the campus, and she seemed like perfect, totally checked out, everything, like all boxes. Like she said, oh yeah, it's like I'm such a great roommate and all this shit that people usually tell you, right? And I meet her, seemed totally normal, and I start living with her, and I'm not kidding you, this girl would not let me move anything besides like my room stuff in. So we went living there for a year. I'm not a doctor, but there was definitely something like she had like these really crazy mood swings and would not let me move anything into the apartment. So we had a completely open like family room setting with just a TV on the floor. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember. It was awful.
No tables, no chairs, nothing. I had to eat standing up for a year. It was fucking crazy.
You would receive some weird text messages, long text messages about that too.
It was,
and all you were like, I just need a bed. Like I need somewhere to sleep.
Yeah, it was so weird. So like, oh my God, I wish I had this type of an app, because with Chillo, you can also endorse your former roommates on what it was like to live with them. So it's like for this person in particular, right? Like everybody says like, I'm such a great roommate. And then it's like, why is there nowhere that exists to actually see what other people have said on what it was like to live with them? Like that would have saved me so many headaches and so much money and so many terrible roommate experiences. Probably you too, if you got to see what people said about me.
Are you on there? Because I can update that.
You're like, I'm going on Chillo right now, and
Absolutely.
I'm literally reviewing you. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
One star.
1 star. Okay, perfect. Okay, that went's really smooth. Okay, awesome. And then I'm doing the second segment now, which is audio submissions. So we'll listen to 2. And so, yeah. I'm going to play it, Ryland, right into the mic. Okay, perfect. So obviously on Roommate Confessions, as you guys know, we have call-ins. People that choose to either stay anonymous or want to share their name. But we always like to keep the roommates' names anonymous and share their roommate confessions and their roommate horror stories. So we had 2 call-ins, and I'm about to play the first one.
Okay, so this was my freshman year of college, and I lived with one of my best friends from back home, another kid from my high school that I didn't know very well, but got to know during the year, and then a couple other randoms. And I was gone most of like the first semester. I was back home, so I wasn't really around my roommates a lot, but I came back with about like 2 weeks left in the semester, and I was just like, we were all drinking at our dorm, and we had like a couple girls from down the hall over, and I think we were playing King's Cup, and I forgot what one of my roommates said, but his name was he said something to my other roommate, like threatened to pour his drink on his head, and then we were all like, whoa, chill out, blah, blah. And then the girls ended up leaving shortly after, and it was like just us, and we were all drunk, and we all decided to go to the pod, but decides to stay back. And so we go to the pod, get our food, come back, and like before we get in the door, we hear just like screaming, and he was just like chilling on the couch before we left. He was just screaming like, get off of me, and like, fuck you, I'm gonna kill you. And so we walk in, and we're like, hey, like, what's up? He's like, oh, hey guys, like, not much, just hanging out.
What?
And
Casual.
so we go down the hall, and they start telling me about how when he drinks and smokes at the same time, he like gets his way, like starts like talking to demons and shit.
No.
And so we're talking down
Wait,
the hall.
this escalated
and then we
so
hear,
quickly.
Like, I can fucking hear you. Like,
Creepy.
shut the fuck up. And he's like screaming at us. So we walk back down there, and we know he's really drunk. And we're like, hey, like, you should go to bed. You know, we have neighbors. You know, you gotta be quiet and all this.
We have neighbors.
Like, no,
that's
I'm
your
good.
concern?
Like, acting really normal.
What about the
So then we
demons
go
in the
back down
house?
the hall, start talking about it again, and then he does the same thing, and then we go back out, and we like, get him to go to his room. And then when he gets to his room and closes the door, my roommates tell me, like, this is like when it gets bad. So
Now?
It wasn't
a
bad
couple minutes
before.
after, we just hear like shit being thrown around his room, and he's like screaming like, fuck you, like, get off of me, all this stuff, like repeating it. And we knock on his door, and he opens the door, and he's like, what's up, guys?
Oh,
Like, acting really
my
normal,
gosh.
like nothing is going on. And we're like, you know, like, you gotta quiet down, like, it's really late, like, shut up, basically. And he closed the door, and they start telling me the story about, like, how previously, like, a couple weeks before, he had done the same thing, and then they had, like, opened the door, and he was, like, there were two chairs, like, straddling him, and he had, like, a roll of toilet paper, like, all around him. And it was, like, I don't know, some, like, demonic ritual, I don't know. But, yeah, that was the story about my roommate.
So Wilby,
Is it okay?
I mean,
I think we need to
okay.
find it.
That was crazy.
That would be really weird. I don't even know how you deal with something like that.
Right? Like, what would you do?
I'd have to be like, if you're drinking or smoking and you're just gonna turn crazy and start breaking stuff, like, stay somewhere else. I don't know.
Or like,
Get out.
don't
call an
drink.
RA.
Yeah, like, or
Like, I don't wanna
don't drink.
snitch,
I don't
but-
even think they were in the dorm. Oh, yeah, because they said pods, so they
Yeah,
were in the dorms.
They were in the dorms.
They were in the dorms. So how do you even, like, I love that he was so concerned. Did anybody else pick up? Like, we have neighbors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
hey, can
right.
you calm down? We have neighbors. No, can you get to a fucking institution? Like, forget the
devil
neighbors.
is in your house.
Like,
apparently.
forget the neighbors. Like, what?
Yeah.
Oh my, okay.
Do you remember our roommate? We had a roommate at one point, and she literally, I don't know where you were, but if you walked into my bedroom, I had two windows on the left and the right side of my bed.
Yeah.
And she lived in the room down the hallway. And in the middle of the night, she comes into my room, and I'm like, hey, are you okay?
Oh my God.
And she's just standing at the edge of my bed, and she's staring at me. And I'm like, are you good? And I'm saying her name, but, like, I'm not going to say it
Yeah.
on here. But then she walks to the left side of my bed and then walks to the right side.
Oh my
And
God.
she starts staring at the window. And I'm like, dude. And so I'm starting to
Didn't
pull
you put the covers over your face?
I was scared because
Oh
then
my
she
God.
came to the side of my bed and she just stood over me and stared at me. And I was like, literally, like,
I remember
this
you
is
being
it.
so
You're literally
freaked
like
out.
something, like, you could see in her face she was not awake. And it was the weirdest experience for
But
me.
wasn't her eyes open?
So then, yeah. Oh, no, she was, like, awake, but you could tell, like, she wasn't there. And I'm, like, talking to her, and there's no response, and she's just standing there straight as a board, staring over my bed, staring at me.
Dude, I
And then
fucking
she
remember
leaves
this.
the room, and I slam my door, lock it, because I'm like, I don't know what that was. But in the morning, she wakes up, and apparently after that, she had walked downstairs, opened a bottle of red wine, poured the glass to the rim, brought it upstairs, put it on her nightstand, and did not spill it. She was a night sleeper?
A night walker.
Night walker.
Oh.
And she didn't even spill it at all, but she woke up in the morning. She's like, why is there a wine? Like, completely full to the top, but there wasn't one drop of red wine anywhere. And I had white carpet. You would have seen it. But then she started telling us a bunch of stories about night walking and stuff, and it was like an actual issue. But I literally thought she was possessed. I was like, this is it.
Dude.
Something's crazy.
Dude,
It was bad.
It was bad. It got so bad that one time, because this is so different person, but I had lived with this other person too, right? This one time we're sitting on the couch, Steven and I, and we're watching a movie, and it's like only freaking, I don't even know, like 11 o'clock, and she comes out of her room, like dead ass, just the door just flies open.
So creepy.
And she's staring at us. And Steve and I are like, we're on the couch and we're like, hey, are you okay? Like, are you good? And she's just blank stare, just staring. And we're like, holy shit, she's gonna fucking murder us. And she's like one of our closest friends. Like, we were like, what? Are you good? Are you good? Nothing. She just staring.
That's so creepy.
So she stares for like a good 2 minutes. And Steven and I are like, he's like got his arm over me, like, what are you gonna do, bro? Chill. Yeah. Like you're gonna protect me, right?
Yeah.
And he's like,
Nice try.
And so she starts walking towards us, and we both kind of like brace ourselves, and she walks right by us, and we're like, what the fuck is she doing? Grabs her car keys.
Oh yeah, This was bad.
Grabs her car keys, walks out the front door. Meanwhile, we're saying her name. We're like, hello, what is she doing? So she gets to her car. We lived on like a decently busy street at the time. She gets to her car. I shit you not. She puts her car keys on the floor, drops her pants, and uses the car as a curb to pee outside in the front yard. And we were like...
It's funny because when you're not a night walker and you're witnessing it, like I did that night,
yeah,
you're just like, it's experiencing something else. You're
it's
like, what is happening right now?
It's like good old Erin, right? Like, what is fucking going on with you? And she had drank these nights. Yeah, okay, that was like, I'm weird and awake, and yeah. But yeah, so she pees, grabs her car keys, and then walks back inside, hangs the car keys up, and walks back in her room.
And then just goes back to bed.
It's
fucking weird.
It's crazy. I mean, have you ever had a night walker roommate?
No.
Sleep talker, night walker? No?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Oh my God, you're lucky because it's a trip. Well, and then you got to be like super, I mean, and she was overall, I would say, a good roommate. Like, I would say she was a great roommate.
Great roommate.
But there was like those quirks but you would get worried about her because you're like, oh my God, she's going to go drive a fucking car right now.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Yeah. It was such a trip. But so let me ask you guys, what would you rather? Like, would you rather a guy who doesn't clean up their dog shit for a year, a night walker for a roommate?
Is this Game of Thrones?
Or a good old...
I definitely don't want...
I don't want there. I think like there's like some darker shit there. What do you think?
I'd say maybe Nightwalker and just lock the doors and lock my door, more importantly.
Lock your door. Yeah, that's a good call.
Hide the keys,
Hide the keys, hide your wife.
Hide the wine.
Hide the kids, hide the wife.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, hide.
Maybe put a cup of ice water on the door or something, so if they open
that's actually not a fucking bad idea.
Wake up.
That was extremely creative.
I was extremely creative. Yeah, I would have to probably go, I would probably rather... Because I'm not cleaning up after somebody else's dog, dude. I already got I'm not doing that. So I'm like, no. So I think like, yeah, I would have to take Nightwalker for sure.
This is kind of like just talking about the dog shit. When I worked at a salon, their kids would always like come from high school and like they'd stop by because their parents own the salon. So then they hang out, whatever. And she was telling me, the high school student, one time, she's like, yeah, my parents always make me pick up the dog poop. She's like, but I just take it and throw it over the fence. And I'm like, to where? And she's like, because like our neighbors have a really big backyard, so they'll never know. And I'm like, you can't do that. Like one day they're going to be like, what is that smell? And they're going to go to a gigantic pile of shit in their backyard.
That's hilarious.
So she just chucks it over the fence. I was like, that is so wrong.
Oh my God, that is so wrong.
So wrong.
Okay, so we have another caller who called in. Let's play this one. And just so you guys know, when callers call in too, like typically the first time I'm hearing them too is now. So sorry for all of you out there if it's inappropriate. All right.
Hey guys, we're here with gonna give us a bad roommate story. Go ahead.
So I lived with 4 people. We all had our own rooms, and there was 2 bathrooms. I shared a bathroom with one of my best friends, and on the other side of the apartment, there was 2 other guys. One guy lived. His parents lived near us, so he was very, very rarely home. And the other guy, I don't want to say his name, but he never left his room, and when he did leave his room, there was very little positives that came out of it. He always left his dishes out, and would get mad at us for leaving our dishes out. Just borderline, basically just your average shitty roommate. And so my best friend and him didn't really get along. I was kind of the mediator between the two. Tension started getting high when they would drink or smoke or something. And one night it was like 8 months into living together. I was gone at the time, but my friend was jokingly talking shit about him. Like, it was clearly a joke. And he didn't realize that he was overhearing it.
Oh, God.
And when he was done, the bad roommate came into the room, started screaming, flipped a chair, and told my friend that he was going to kill him in his sleep.
Shut up.
Oh.
A little background information, like, out of all the people, like you can tell someone that you're going to stab them in their sleep, but most people, you wouldn't believe it. He had, like, knives and was just weird, like, gave off kind of, might be bad to say it, but kind of gave off, like, school shooter vibes. Like,
Oh, fuck no.
you can fill in that blank in your head. But,
That was pretty
it got really
descriptive.
bad, and then he told him he was going to kill him in his sleep. So that night, we took all the knives out of the knife drawer, put them in our bathroom, locked the door that divided us off, stayed up till 5 a.m. packing all our stuff. We're freaking out, and then moved out the next day. And then 2 days later, we get emails from the school saying that we were in trouble and almost got expelled from the school because he told the school a completely different narrative than what actually happened, and said that my friend said he was going to try to beat his ass and put him in a situation where he felt his life was endangered.
What?
And yeah, and we had to talk to the school, told him what happened. We had a little mini court case with the dean of students and the housing people, and it ended up getting situated. But yeah, it was 8 months of living on edge every day, and then finally getting told you're gonna get killed in your sleep. And yeah, that's it.
Oh,
At
that's
the
it.
end.
Yikes.
That's it. Hey, that's a wrap, folks.
He's like, but you have all great night.
Yeah. But hey, we're still here kicking.
Yeah.
What the dude, people's experiences are a trip.
They are. It's really scary.
Ew, it's really scary.
Mm-hmm.
Those actually, of a lot of our call-in, those are both pretty dark. Those were bad. Okay, so who would you rather? First roommate, demonic. Second one says they're going to freaking kill you in your sleep. I mean, I feel like both would kill me in my sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There was literally I think there's like a Netflix documentary or something.
First
about,
roommate ever.
Yeah. And have you watched it? And like these
It's
people
horrifying.
at times are like, oh yeah, so he came and he wouldn't leave, and you know, he really scared me and threatened me every night, so I just locked myself in the room. I'm like, you locked yourself in the room? I would effing bail.
Yeah,
I'd be like,
move.
I'm maxing out my credit card and staying at a hotel. I don't fucking care.
I would do ejected. I'd pack my shit up and I'd be gone
There's
the
like
next
that
morning.
one guy that like stole all of her cats or something. It was so weird.
Ew,
And
I've
she
got to
was like-
rewatch those.
She was like, it's fine. I'm like, is it?
Yeah, have you seen that Netflix documentary?
I've not.
Worst roommate ever? Oh my god, we like have to freaking play that in our
You
freaking
should. You should.
because it's I mean, it's people that actually murder people, right?
Yeah.
Too
Uh-huh.
like it's like I mean, this is like
it's like some serious stalker shit. It's bad.
it's bad.
No
Like
thanks.
this shit. No, thank you.
I thought you were bad. I guess you're not that bad. You get 2 stars. You upgraded.
Did I upgrade on my
Yeah.
endorsement on Jello?
Yeah, you're not on that show yet.
Oh my god, thank you. No, those were pretty bad. I don't think I would be terrified.
Absolutely. But it was crazy too that some of these people would like call their parents and stuff and be like, I feel very unsafe. Like this is the experience. And the parents are like, it's okay. Like you're going to be fine.
Like no, if
Like,
someone
my
told
dad
me,
would be
like,
like-
told me like
Get the fuck out. Like,
Yeah,
what do I
get
need to
out.
do? Like, what do we need to do? Leave. I'd rather sleep on the street, honestly, at that point.
me too, in a tent under a bridge.
Sounds cozy.
Sounds cozy.
It is free rent these days.
It is. Yeah, it is. Literally, depending on the state you're in, you're probably good to stay.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, this was horrifying today. This was some top shit. This was some top level. I mean, I thought like dog poop and Vegas rendezvous were bad, but this is next level.
Yeah.
Yeah. This
Death
is
threats.
yeah.
Not fun.
Not fun.
Demons. I'm not about it.
Not about it.
Nobody wants those night walkers.
No. Oh,
No one wants those floods.
No. Oh my God. Yeah. Shit. What a trip. Love it. Okay. That was good. That was a trip. I feel bad for these people.
Yeah, it sucks.
Ugh.
At least they're still alive.
Hey, listen,
Fair
the
enough,
good news
yeah.
is here is they're still alive.
They're
kicking.
here to tell the story.
They didn't wind up on the Netflix show, so that's a
So was
positive.
it really all that bad? Was it all that bad?
Like, was it really that? I mean, were you really that scared?
Yeah. You sound
Okay.
a little wussy.
Oh my God, I would be terrified.
Yeah, I did think of one more funny story.
Yeah, okay.
If you want to hear it.
Yeah,
I
hell
guess.
yeah.
Same freshman year, dorm with the same people, and I met this kid who was friends with one of my roommates, like friend of a friend type of connection, and he was in the same building.
Yeah.
And so we were hanging out with him a lot, and our door, like we figured out that if you forgot your key, you could get a credit card in the door because the door malfunctioned, and then push it down,
Yeah.
open it up, and get in, right?
Oh shit. Okay.
And we did this like in front of him a few times or whatever, and would like invite him over. And sometimes like I don't know how long, but like 2 months in, he'd just start doing it, like
into your
without
apartment?
texting us. Like he would just bring his card, open our door, come in,
Oh.
and then like knock on our individual doors, like, "Hey, how's it? Like, what
Oh,
are you
no.
guys up to?"
Boundaries.
And it was like, you would just be like, I don't know, we'd have friends over, and so you could hear in the hall. And I think he'd just like walk around sometimes, and he'd just come in. And it's like, what? And it's like, he's like, you have friends over. Like, can I not come in?
You're like,
Absolutely
no,
not.
Like, we would have invited you if we wanted you to come in.
Yeah.
So he would just walk into your
He'd
apartment.
just walk in,
at
and
all
we'd
hours
like
of the
lock
day.
our door and be like, not today, dog. Like, dude, like, we're just
how did
hanging
you feel
out.
comfortable doing that? How did
I have
you-
no idea.
Like maybe once to be like funny,
Yeah.
you know, like or I don't know, some kind of thing. But like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
But
That's real
that's
weird.
weird. That's
That's
you're
so
crossing a
uncomfortable.
boundary. Yeah.
The same guy actually. We went all went out to this concert before it started getting really weird, and like we went. It was me, one of his friends, my roommate and his girlfriend, one of his girlfriend, like my roommate's girlfriend's friends, and then him, right? And then one of his friends that was a girl or whatever. And so we're hanging out, and we wind up going back to his dorm because it's like a 2-person dorm instead of a 4-person, so they have like a larger living room, and better situation to just hang out. And like we wind up basically just hanging out in the room, and it's like him, his friend, that's a girl, and then my roommate's girlfriend, her friend, and him on the bed, right? And out of nowhere, like 2 of them just start making out, like him and his
Oh,
friend,
God.
with like 3 other people outside of the bed, like in the room, just hanging out.
Awkward.
And like
So
from
awkward.
there, dude, like 2 other pick it up, and then like I'm just chilling with one of my friends in this room, and like they're just going into like a freaking orgy on this bed.
Oh,
And like I'm
No.
his roommate. He's known me for maybe like 3 weeks at this point.
oh my God.
And wasn't
And-
like, are you cool with this? Nothing.
I was like, I'm getting out of here. About like a minute in, like once
Yeah.
they started making out or whatever,
One
I'm
star
like,
clothes
I'm
started
out.
coming off.
And we leave, and they like come home the next day. So I guess they all spent the night there or something. And maybe that's why he was like special connection. I feel like I can just come into your room whenever with my
Special
key card.
connection.
But
No,
like, dude, it
hell
was
no.
a weird time.
What a trip.
Yeah.
You're just like, so I'm gonna go get a burrito.
Yeah.
You guys want anything? You're good?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
I was
I
just-
got a condom,
Yeah.
lube. I'll be back. Do you want it? Did you want KFC? You
Diet
look a little
Coke.
hungry for some chicken.
I just look at my friend. I'm like, let's go.
Like, it's
time to go.
That is
It was time to go 5
So
minutes ago.
Weird.
Yeah.
That is, but that's like dorm shit though. That's like dorm life. Like some of the guests we have on here, like, yeah, like apartments and dorms, but like horror stories with apartments. But a lot of these dorm stories, what I'm finding a lot of them, like our last week's guest, they started having sex right in front of them. And it was in a room smaller than this. It was in like a 5x5 dorm with 2 beds, one on each side, a twin. and they started having sex right in front of him, and he had nowhere to go because the whole dorm, it was the ones where it was just the bedroom and the common kitchen area and everything was out of the apartment. So he's like, I would just have to walk out of the room while they were going at it, but they would start going at it right in front of him.
It's weird. It's real weird.
I'm sure there are some tragic horror stories out there like that.
Oh, for sure.
Like
many
way
more
worse.
to come.
Many more to come.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everyone. That's a wrap. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And thank you for Johnny for being here. And of course, Liz. If you want more of Liz, you could find her at _goldenmane, MANE on Instagram. And of course, don't forget to follow us on the Chillo app at Chillo app, whether it's on TikTok, Instagram, or
Twitter.
For more. And of course, we're taking roommate horror stories. So if you want to share your roommate horror story, go ahead and DM us on Instagram at Chillo app or contact us at contact@chilloapp.com. Till next time.